Dumelang Kogai. It is another week where we're bringing to you the dawning experience with Chami Moroke. I do hope you are looking forward to this episode because I have another young person who's an artist and also a producer, if I'm not mistaken. But hey, before we get into that, this production is brought to you by Dreamstream Studios. Do ensure that you dial the number that is appearing down here and ensure that you contact them and also hit them up on their social media platforms on TikTok and Instagram. Philaboi, what's up?
What's up? How you doing?
I'm awesome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Looking
today.
so fresh, looking so young.
I got to all the time. You have to look fresh, man. You gotta look fly everywhere you go.
Please greet my viewers and holla at them.
So what's up? I'm Philaboi K, all the way from the south side, the 2091. I'm a musician, rapper, performer, and sound engineer. And I have a passion for music, man. I love music.
Yeah, multi-south whoopie.
Mangiti South, way in the south.
Yeah.
So the 2091, man, close to, let me see, close to like Southgate side, very close to Soweto.
Okay.
Very close to Winchester. So like in between, man, the heart of the south.
Okay, man, I thought umuntu wasekazi le.
No, ngikhulele kasi vele. Ngikhulele kasi, but obviously, kwamele ukhuphuke. But yeah, ngikhulele kasi, man. Even if I can give you a quick backstory, man. My parents are both from Durban.
Mm-hmm.
Mom and dad, both of them are from Durban. I think they came to Johannesburg around between 92 and 94.
Yeah.
And then around 96, they had me. At the time, Bishlale Dube. Yeah, Bishlale Dube. And then I think I lived at Dube until I was like 3 or 4 years old.
Wow.
And then we moved to the southern suburbs. We moved to Meredale.
Mm-hmm.
I lived in Meredale. And then I think I lived in Meredale until I was like 8 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then we moved to Ridgeway. And then I've been living in Ridgeway since 2004. And then in between that time and now, ngike ngahlala eProtea Glen, ngike ngahlala eFlorida, ngike ngahlala eOrlando East. Yo, yeah, I've lived a lot of places, man. So yeah, but majority of my life has been spent in the south of Johannesburg.
I always ask my guests this, how was your upbringing? Were you a spoiled boy or how was your upbringing?
I think my upbringing was a good upbringing. I think like anyone's upbringing, there's good, there's the bad, but I'd like to believe, my parents tried the best they could for me, and my brothers. And I can't even say being short nix, like I had a bike when I wanted a bike. I had a PS, Mangfuni PS. We went on holidays, we lived a pretty nice life. The life was good, but obviously in between that, kunezinto, obviously when everyone grows up, that hey, why did I have to go through that or that? Yeah. So that's why there was a period in my life where we moved around a lot because the so yeah. So I've got to live in many different situations. I've lived in a flat, I've lived in a nice house, I've lived in a back room, I've lived in a shelter, I've lived so many different type of situations, man. But I love the way I grew up. If I were to die and come back again, could I live my life exactly the same way? Because I think all of that contributed to me being who I am today.
I love the fact that you appreciate.
Yeah, I appreciate the good and the bad. Yeah, the good and the bad. Because all of that builds your character. All of that molds you to become the human being you're going to be in the present right now. Yeah.
Now let's get into Phila, the artist.
Phila, the artist.
I saw on your bio, I love this part. It says the artist that believes through the music so that he can express his feelings.
Yeah. I think my love for music, like, no one was a musician in my house, but when I think about it, I was even talking to my girl about this the other day, and I'm like, she was telling me, like, I remember the first time I met you and I came to your house, there were like all these CDs there.
Yeah.
But you guys never played those CDs. I'm like, nah, because when we still used to live with my dad, because my parents split, obviously, my dad loved music. My dad loved jazz. My dad loved Oliver Mtukudzi, abo Toto, abo Hugh Masekela, abo Ringo. So every Sunday, my Sundays were pretty like chilled. Like no TV on Sundays during the day. It's dad will play a CD from start to finish, read a newspaper. When it's done reading a newspaper, give me a page. But we always playing that music. I even remember the one time got us the Michael Jackson DVD.
What?
You know, the excuse me. I think it was Bad. Yeah, it was Bad. Bad or Thriller. One of those two DVDs. And I remember my youngest brother at the time used to make us watch that thing every day.
Yeah.
Like, it was first nice the first few days, you know, but like it became like an everyday thing, you know. And just being like around music. Maybe I'm a Stockfell in Lini, there's music, family functions, there's music. So I think I grew up like listening to music and loving music. I know at my younger age, like primary school, I hadn't discovered like a hip hop in primary. I just used to listen to house because everyone was Ipuchwa.
Of course.
Used to listen to house, but there was just something about house. Maybe it's because I couldn't dance. I didn't like it that much. And then I won't forget 2009, like my first experience with like hip hop properly. I think I was watching Live Amp. At the time it was called Live or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget it on the screen. Cling, ging, 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 ging. At Keenan Forbes, aka Victory Lab. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, yo,
like what?
That means hip hop is so dope. Like these guys are even shooting videos in Johannesburg. And then for me to find out that he's South African, I was like, whoa.
Of course.
You know, and then I think that's when I started diving into like hip hop. So for me, it's not like other people. I didn't start with America and then here first. I started like the South Africans after AKA, through AKA Cooley, and then about WHP, and then about Rizzy, you know. And then I think when I changed schools in grade, and at the time I'm not rapping at all. At the time I'm just someone who just loves music. And I think what I loved about hip hop, it was the first time where it wasn't like Mang Mamela house, not to disrespect to house or anything. Like I love house, I love piano, I love anything South African. But like listening to music that had words and some of the music talk about experiences that I went through, it was like so therapeutic, man. Like I remember even listening to songs and pausing. Before there was about Rap Genius, where you'd play a song and then pause, write out the lyrics and play, just so you could read the book and learn the lyrics, you know. And then it wasn't until 2012, I think that's when I changed schools. I went from Sir John Adamson High School and I went to Covenant College. Very different like environment, because I went from like a big government high school then to a nice small, you know, private school. Yeah, like first time going to a school. Hey, I put on my laptop now. I think that was my first time I experienced Wi-Fi. YouTube. You know, I didn't even know there was like YouTube, you know. And then there was a friend of mine, a very close friend of mine still today, Usia, Marvel Visto Saint. I went to primary school with him. And when I get to that school, it's like, I'm here to, dog, this is where I've been. I didn't go to a government school. I came here since grade 8. I'm here now, but I'm so happy to see you. Like, you know, we used to play soccer together and stuff. And then we'd chill with them at break time. And then they would do this thing, on my break time, go to the field. And then, these guys are all pulling up their Blackberries, man. Playing a beat and they rapping. I'm on his side. I'm like, hey, which one is this one? But I remember hearing Usia and Umono. Shout out to Mwabisi, Usia and Mono. I think if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be doing music at all.
Wow. Yeah.
And then they were rapping, and I was so like, yo. It was the first time I experienced people my age sounding like how the guys overseas sound. Like I was like, yo. And I remember telling them, yo, can I please join your group? Machitang Miser the whole year, and I'll show these guys. I'm gonna write a verse every day. And I would come every day with a verse, every day with a verse, every day with a verse. And what I appreciate about them, they never said, Ndwana, you whack, stop this. Write another one. And I'd come tomorrow with another one. You know, like I'd write another one. Sia would show me how to download beats online and write another one, you know. And then I remember that year, 2012, November. This is one day I came to school. I'm like, I wrote a song to a Lil Wayne song called Willy Wonka. I wrote a song. I'm like, today I'm going to show these guys. They're going to know that, you know what? They know me ganjani. They're going to put me in this group because like I've been writing verses every day. And then I spat a verse and then they were like, hey, is it just you alone in the song? Yeah. Hey, do you have a studio now? I've never been to studio. Hey, this weekend we're going to Josh's house. Shout out J Liberty. We're going to Josh's house. Don't you want to come and record? Hey, I was so excited. Went home, told my mom, hey, I'm going to Alberton. I'm going to go record at a studio with these guys. And then he took me, and it was my first time ever in studio. Recorded Willy Wonka, Sia jumped on, Mona jumped on. And at the time, for me, they were like gods. Like, even if so they were the ones who like, yeah, I need to be like these guys. Like, these guys make this thing look like I could do it too, you know?
Amazing.
And I think that's where I caught like the bug of becoming an artist. Took me to my first studio. I remember it very vividly, getting to Josh's room. They didn't have like soundproofing, so matras, lana, it's a SingStar mic. But in that moment, you're just like, yo, we're doing this. You know, we're doing this. We recorded the song, released the song, made the cover art on PicMix, you know, released the song on data file host, and then watch the whole school download the song. Now we there, yo, what the song has 800 downloads, you know what I'm saying? Performed the song at school socials, like I'm a Valentine's ball and stuff. And then yeah, that's how I started making music. That's when I started being like, yo, I wanna do music. That was the year even Mono, I remember he gave me music software for the first time, gave me a SingStar mic. He showed me how to record, how to do so many things. And yeah, they also really developed my music taste too. I think they're the two guys who put me on to the international stuff a lot. So they put me on like the Kendricks and the J. Coles and the Rick Ross and the, you know, all of them, like all those guys. And then yeah, that's how I got into music.
I love how you are speaking about it. There's so much passion of it.
Yeah, yo, hey.
Now it takes me to what inspires you when you're writing. What inspires you?
My life. My life inspires me. Everything that I see happening around me. My life experiences, how I feel, what I think of my future to be, you know, like, because I use music for a lot of things. Music for me is very therapeutic, but for me, it's definitely first and foremost, it also started as a therapeutic thing, first and foremost. It didn't start like, I didn't come in, I got bottles, it started as, I think it was the first time I started dealing with like trauma in my life, like writing about it. Because I used to do poetry, Vele, so it made sense for me to go into music. So I just felt like music is like poetry in motion. So for me, music, it's about me speaking about my feelings, talking about my surroundings, talking about relationships and experiences I have with people. Where do I see myself? You know, what's this word? On the past year, me dog. Like, you know, face my past with my music, envision my future with my music, you know, use my music to pray, use my music to ask for blessings, you know what I'm saying? Use my music to just keep me sane, man, because the world is crazy. There's so much going on out there. And because at the time, I wasn't the person who could talk about things, but it's very easy for me to write about things. So I had to go from writing about them to saying them out aloud. So yeah, that's what music is for me, man. Something that people can resonate with, evoke feelings, it's thought-provoking. I can be introspective. So
and
for
we're dealing
me,
with mental health issues now. With you saying you've got your pen and your paper and you write everything, it heals you.
It does heal you. There's so much power in writing about things, that whether it's things that unsettle you or things that, you know, excite you. There's power in writing them down, reading them down, and saying them out aloud. You know what I'm saying? Because I really feel like the most powerful tool in the world is words. You know, there's nothing as powerful as words. You know, like words are very powerful. So there's power in your tongue. Tongue is mighty powerful. So
exactly.
You better be wary of what you say. You know.
You know, you're also planting with this tongue.
You're also planting a seed. You're manifesting. You're praising or you're denouncing, even though I don't denounce. But yeah, so that's what music is for me, man. For the most part, it's just my life. It's my life. From my point of view, because we all live in the same life, but we experience it differently. You know, you sitting on this couch, I'm sitting on this couch. We could be looking at the same thing, but we're seeing it differently. We're seeing it from your perspective. So basically, music for me is my perspective from Pila's eyes. from what Phila has
Phila,
experienced.
shout out to you for that. Phila, I want you to take me through your journey in this industry. There's ups and downs.
Yeah.
People never speaks about the down.
Yeah,
There's still. Please take me through that, the ups and the downs.
Okay, you must start with the downs or the ups or okay. So for me, the ups would definitely be because of music. You know, I've met some people who we met through music online, and today we're very close friends because of our love for music and what music does for us. I am so grateful for all the opportunities I've ever gotten, whether small or little. You know, I can say one of my first ups was in 20, I think I was in matric. I was in matric when we had to do job shadowing.
Yeah.
For a LO. And like everyone is going to go job shadow, like companies, engineering companies, whatnot. And somehow Sia's mom knew the legendary Mjakes. This is mom.
Mjakes Thebe.
Mjakes Thebe.
Wow.
So she says, she speaks to Jakes' mom and then speaks to Mjakes Thebe, says, I have these boys by 4, they want to do music. Can they job shadow you for a week? And then that was the first up. Like, I'm meeting Mjakes Thebe at his house. And then when we're sitting there, he's like, no, someone is coming. He's going to be with us the whole week. I told him about this thing. Yeah. Robbie Malinga.
The legend.
The legendary Robbie Malinga. Oh. And then Robbie Malinga even asked us, like, yo, what you guys want to do? You want to do the fun stuff? You want to do the real stuff?
Yeah.
We're like, nah, anything you do in your day. It's like, okay, cool. So then hopped in a car, Robbie Malinga and Mjakes went with us. I remember they first went to a bank. I don't know if they were getting at a bank.
Yeah.
And then we went to a studio. We went to some studio where guys were like mixing and recording. That was the first time we went to like a big studio for it. And we're like, yeah. So they're telling these guys, hey, these guys want to do music in. So they show us the studio. They let us sit in on a session. Yeah. And then, because we were there for the whole week, the next day, at the time, it was when they were even working with Uzahara. And I remember at the time, they took us to go meet Zahara. Wow. We went to go meet Zahara. We went shopping with Zahara. She was buying groceries. So now we're shopping with Zahara, watching all these people come and take photos with her and stuff. Amazing. And we just there like Sialandela.
Shadowing.
And then I think on about the third day, that's when we were in Jakes' house. That's even the first time I saw the software, the one I use today, Cubase. I use Cubase. And then there's Cubase. And then Jakes was like, we're going to make a song so that you guys can go back to school and show them the practical stuff of what you did. And we recorded a song. Like, that was my first properly like recorded song. Recorded a song called Bounce. It was so dope. Yeah, that was my first experience, like my first up in the industry, like job. Because those guys are legends, you know. I even remember when like Sia was telling me, when Robbie Malinga walked in the door, I was like, he's like, what's I'm like, nigga, that's Robbie Malinga. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we even got to experience touching summers. They had summers at the house. And we got, so Robbie would say, touch the summer.
How was the feeling?
Feel it, envision it, it's real, here's it. You know what I'm saying? That was like, yeah, one day, Sophie, you know.
And one day you guys will get there.
And one day we will get there. We are getting there. We're on the move right now. Slowly but surely, you know. And then I've had many ups, performing for the first time. I remember it was 2016, Kospotong. It's not even there anymore, Kospotong.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was performing that day, Big Zulu was performing. Big Zulu was performing, Shezi was performing before Big Zulu became Big Zulu.
Big Zulu, yeah.
And I'm here performing and I'm wilding out because I'm like, this is Shezi. I listen to this guy every Thursday on the full clip rapping.
Yeah.
And now he's here and I'm shaking his hand, you know. And then just going to like open mics. Like those were a lot of ups. But I think for me, a lot of the ups was meeting people and being given opportunities no matter how small and how big they were. And then the downs, like any musician story, we've been through people who snake us. Yeah. You know, they promise you the world. People who take advantage of you, people who exploit you. And I think earlier on when I started, I wouldn't say exploited, but they always say the one with more knowledge will always win, you know?
Yeah.
And at the time, I didn't have knowledge about, you know, like registering a company, knowing how publishing works, all those things. So we've been through those things. Going to studio, a guy charging you an arm and a leg. When I think about it now, after I've studied Spanish, I'm like, in charge 1,000.5 for raw files, dog.
Yeah.
This is not even mixed. You know what I'm saying? So we've went through all of that, going to shows, performing when there's 5 people, performing when there's 200 people, going to shows, being promised you're gonna get paid, you don't get paid, you know. So there's a lot of downs that happen. I think in any industry,
of course,
there's
but
ups and downs.
would you encourage someone to actually, because you're saying Uti, people robbed you at, back then,
Yeah.
to pursue this in terms of studying and knowing?
Yeah, I would say study, know it,
The
research,
music business.
know the music business. The information is all out there. If you can't go to school and study, there's workshops, there's YouTube is your friend,
True.
Google's your friend. Read. You know what I'm saying? Read.
Don't just jump in, sign
or
contracts.
don't jump in and sign
Yo,
contracts.
Zokar.
Don't ever sign anything you don't understand.
True.
But like I would advice I would give to someone starting music, if you really want to do this as like your primary career and for the long term, really, man, go to school. Whether you're studying sound engineering or you're studying music theory, some things, music business. Find people already in the industry. Find mentors. You know what I'm saying? Find people who can help you out. And more than anything, just put information in your mind. Give information to other people if you know information. Each one teach one.
Please.
Ask questions. Don't be afraid to not know something, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes we watch TV and we want to do it from TV perspective, but the TV will never show you. They'll only show you the, hey, man, this guy's robbing me my money, but they don't show you the part where you were ignorant as an artist and you just cared about the nice things that were dangling in front of you, you know? Nothing is free in this world.
Hey, guys.
So, yeah. But if you're not paying for it, chances are you the product.
Ganjad.
You know what I'm saying? So, and invest in yourself. If you can, if possible. Buy a small computer, small mic.
Start small.
Teach yourself how to be self-sufficient. And then once you reach your threshold of self-learning, go out there and ask people for help. Ask questions, a lot of questions. And yeah, just put a whole lot of information in your head. Understand the industry you're in. Understand the country you're in. So that's the advice I would give, you know. But I can never say to someone, no, don't start music.
Of course.
All of us, obviously, when we started it was about the love, the passion. No one was thinking about my contract and all that stuff. But when you grow older and you realize, this is something I want to use to feed my family or build my legacy, you realize how important the business part of it is. So yeah, just go study something music related, guys. You know, I also understand not all of us are going to be musicians. Maybe some of y'all are going to be the best sound engineers we've ever seen, or the best producers we've ever seen, you know, the best managers we've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? So just put some knowledge in your brain and surround yourself with people with more knowledge and who aren't afraid to give you that knowledge when you ask for it, you know. And learn every day. Every single day.
You know, I love what you're saying, that some of us can be behind the scenes. We can go and study the music.
Yeah.
But I can choose to be a producer or, you know, push people. Be actually a manager.
Exactly. So that's what I did for myself. You know, like I remember when I first went to varsity, I first studied a diploma in business entrepreneurship and business management. And then, I was passing, it was cool, but obviously life, dropped out, fees, started working. I was even working at a car wash. I can't even believe it. I was working at a car wash. Now. And then I remember after working at the car for a year and 6 months, I remember my boss saying to me, hey man, your music is nice, go study something. Go study sound engineering even. And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. It's like, bruh, you learn as you go.
Yep.
You know, shout out to my father-in-law. Took me to City Varsity. I registered. I studied sound. And then that's when I learned that, this thing is not just fun and games. And that's when I started getting behind the scenes, like recording, mixing, mastering. We had courses on business law, music law, you know what I'm saying, contractual law, all those other things I didn't know, like knowing about Obosam, Rorisa. They would come to the school and give us workshops about publishing and distribution and what you owe as an artist and what's your responsibility as an artist and stuff like that. So educate yourself more than anything, guys. Educate yourself more than anything.
Yeah. I know you've mastered for a lot of artists. I know there's your DJ Switch, there's your Shezi. Tell me about that.
So I've done a lot, man. I've recorded guys like Lucas Raps, mixed for Lucas Raps. I've done it for Shezi. I recently released a joint collaboration project with DJ Switch. this year. It's called Above Water. It has like about 6 songs on it. I recorded those songs. I mixed and mastered those songs. And shout out to the big homie, man, you know, for always putting on us young cats and believing in us. I've done for Kevy Kev, or Just Jabba, or Young Seru. No. So these are some of the guys I work with a lot, you know, Tape Gang, Wave Gang. So there's a whole lot of guys that I've mixed and mastered for.
And like I'm looking at the camera.
No, ThatShyHomie, nah. I can't forget ThatShyHomie. You know, shout out ThatShyHomie, man. That's my man's right there, man. Yeah, even with ThatShyHomie, man. I remember the first song we ever made was M4. I remember I made him 4. And I tried to I made him 4 in studio with the gents.
Yeah.
And when I listened to the song, I'm like, this song cannot be my song. And it cannot be any of our songs because all of us have like either one verse or just in the chorus. And at the time, I knew ThatShyHomie. That's when I had just met him and he had started DJing for me. And I sent him the song and I said, hey, bro, you're a DJ. Here's a song, release. If you have a bigger vision and you can push the song more than us, Goma, we'll sort out the paperwork and all that stuff. And then ever since then, it's just been a fruitful relationship with Shy, man. Shout out to Shy for putting me on, you know, gigs, performing, riding with me. You know, even him last year pushed me to release like an EP with him, did like a whole listening party. It was so dope. So shout out to him, and I can never forget him, man.
I love the brotherhood because, you know, you were speaking so amazingly about you know, the journey that you guys have been through.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow.
And you know, and it's not just Shy alone. I would love to say it's the whole South Side. You know, I'll even take a moment. I'll even name names. I'll start with Tape Gang. You know, shout out to Agiti, shout out to Dumangam Tombeni, shout out to Ndabizim Nandi, shout out to DOX, shout out to R&B Strings. Them gents saved my life, man. They got me at a time where I was like, you know what, I'm done. I'm klar. And then to find out these guys make music and we all live in the same neighborhood and we all actually went to the same high school, but we only hlangana later in life, you know. Shout out to those guys, for everything they've done for me. I think they helped mold me into the artist I am now in the prison.
Yeah.
You know, like they talk about you have your day ones, you know, the ones who keep you grounded, who started with you. Shout out to my day twos, man. They took me up a level. They took me where my day ones couldn't take me, you know. And then there's so many other people. Shout out Kevy Kev, shout out West Wase South, shout out Floss, the whole Rooster Inc. family. You know, they shot me my first proper video. First time I saw myself on TV properly because of those guys. First time I was doing like proper corporate gigs with sponsors. Shout out to Rooster Inc. Shout out to other guys who are doing exceptionally well in the South Side. There's Abo Zulo. Zulo's doing very well. Shout out to Basement. You know, he's doing very, very well. And then Friends of the South, you know, my guys in the East, D-Wave Impact, D-Wave Gang, Abo Just Jabba, Abo Khaldrogo, Cheryl Zondi, Seru the Ellipsis, McCline. There's also my younger brother, VI. There's also Hazy. There's also K-Fresh. There's a whole lot of us. You know, Sibaningi. But all these people I'm naming are people who, more than anything, I love their music. They love my music. We share the same vision. But more than anything, it's a brotherhood. It's the way we push together and support each other and ride for each other is everything.
You know, let me just take you back. Earlier on, you spoke about mommy and then you spoke about your stepdad.
My dad, not my stepdad.
Your dad.
Yeah.
Love that. You know, the support that you're getting from them. It's rare for our parents to, you know, want to support the music because they want, this? A teacher, a doctor, you know.
Especially African parents, man. You know, I don't blame them. I understand. Pella, you must understand. When they see music, they see the end result. They see the tabloids, artists overdosing, artists drinking and stuff. I remember when I first started music, my mom has always been on board. My father, he's in law. So he was a prosecutor. So I think he had this big dream and big vision of I must follow in his footsteps and do law like him and stuff, you know. I do love literature because of him. You know, he even doesn't know this, but I do love music because he exposed me to music every Sundays. You know what I'm saying? I'm a stock fair that would take me to all those things. But I think his fear was maybe I'm trying to be a musician because I want the easy way out. I'm not trying to do serious things in life. And because You know, your parents are reading about legends, artists dying
What's
broke.
going on? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Dying
Tabloids
and
and
leaving no money and stuff like that. So I think my mom at first was like, I'm not sure. But because I'm very close with my mom, she's someone who I tie in, I come back home. This is what I did today. I would show my mom, you know. Shout out to her, man. She bought me my first mic, my first monitors, my first sound card.
Shout out to mommy.
You know, shout out to moms, man. And then my dad, it took him some time, you know, like he had to see kahle kahle yenzani. And I think he only started taking it seriously when I was like, I'm gonna study sound engineering. Then he was like, you see, now you're talking.
Studying,
You must find something that doesn't require you to be famous, to make money. You know what I'm saying? Like,
True.
But I think he got to understand that, like I'm very serious about this thing, you know, because he would see me on TV. He would see how the people coming in and out the house, hey, bro, I see this guy's body here in the backyard. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? So I'm very blessed to have my family support me in that way, you know, because it even trickled down. Even my youngest brother is a musician now, you know, and he's pushing and he's doing well. And it even trickled down to our youngest brother, who he's also doing music, but he's taking it further. He makes clothes, he does events, he's like an entrepreneur in the music space, and he's only like 17. So that's good to see him at 17. Besides him making music, he's using his music to, I'm gonna do events, I'm gonna sell clothes, merchandising. How can I make money? You know, so I would like to believe I took it this far. My younger brother's taking it further, and our youngest one is taking it even further. And then also shout out to my in-laws, man. I think also my in-laws played a very, very huge role, man. There's a time where even one of my girl's cousins was managing me and pushing me. Through him, I met all City Lights, or DJ Zandy, or so many people, you know, or More Flavor. I met so many people through him. The first time I performed out of the province was because of him. So shout out to Glenn, man, you know. And
yes, I'm a guest. Every time talking about their ladies, like
what?
Bashai. So you're the first one, Okulumayo nje.
I have to, Pella. She's anyone who knows me, she's part and parcel. Pella, I've known her. She's my high school sweetheart, guys. I've known her since I was a kid, man. So
shout out to her. Siyabonga.
And shout out to her, because she's also my biggest supporter, man. Shout out to her. Shout out to her, man, because she's also the one like, hey, nigga, push. You have to make this thing work, you know. Her and her dad,
pushing
they're the two people who tell me all the time, I don't care how hard it gets. You need to push. You need to push this thing. You need to push this thing. And that's a blessing on its own. Not just your family, but everyone around you, seeing how great it could become. It just gives you that,
of course,
let me keep going.
Push.
Keep pushing, yeah.
Phila, let's get into, you know, the performances that you've participated in. You know, I saw there was Hip Hop Awards, South African Hip Hop Awards.
Yeah, South African Hip Hop Awards. I did the Corner Cypher in 2019. You know, that was a dope experience, man. Like, I was in a Cypher, Liwo, Touchline, all these guys. Like, that was a very dope experience. Shout out to TTP for that one way, because he was like, you need to do the Corner Cyphers. I did the Corner Cyphers. I've done so many events. I've done the Corner Cyphers. I got to do Back to the City for the first time. Like, it was so full circle for me, because I remember the first Back to the City I went to was 2015. And we were printing CDs, trying to hand out CDs, and, you know, trying to give people CDs, and people are not taking our CDs. To fast forward to last year, and I'm performing main stage with DJ Switch and Seru the Ellipsis, and I'm like,
nah, this is it.
Yeah, this is it, you know. And I also did last year BMW M Fest main stage, also with DJ Switch. I've also done many other gigs, man, with Kev. I've done Zone 6 with Kev. I've done so many other gigs with Kev, man. Big gigs, even. And then shout out to like all the promoters, man, in Bram and Maboneng and in the North and Ekasi, who, just because they see how much we love music and they resonate with our music, they book us and we get to perform and entertain their patrons. So I'm just, I've done a lot. I even once did a competition, Clash of the Regions in 2020. You know, that was we were finalists for that thing. Unfortunately, we didn't win. It's okay.
But you went there.
But that was a turning point for us. I think that competition changed the way we performed live. Because at the time when we performed, we were so timid on stage. We were so shy. And imagine listening to judges tell you, hey, I love the song and everything, but why is the backtrack playing? I thought you were lip syncing, you guys are so dope, but like next time, and that just changed the whole trajectory of how we perform. We started doing gigs in Bram. Shout out to Fazinator, hosts a whole lot of gigs in Bram. And he used to put us on. And remember, he started those gigs and there were like 3 people. Now his gigs today get packed all the time. And yeah, just basically
my next question was, I wanted to ask you, okay, that feeling when you're performing, but actually I got the answer because the way you're explaining it, you can just see, okay, you're enjoying it. It's an amazing feeling.
Yeah. I think more than anything, when you're on stage, you have to have fun. Like, it has to be fun for you. Like, don't overthink it. Just have fun. Like, let go. Some of these people, you won't even see them again. Don't be
Give it your best.
Don't be afraid to look foolish on stage. Just have fun. Like let these people know why the song is your song and why they should stand and listen to you. You know what I'm saying? So for me, for the most part, even though we prepare so much, we rehearse so much, when we get on stage, no matter what happens, the show keeps going and we have fun.
Nice.
No technical difficulty formed against us will stop us. Like, we just keep going, have fun.
Phila, we have to wrap up, but I cannot leave this question. You spoke about you guys promoting CDs and all that. Now we're in the adaptation of streaming.
Yeah.
No longer the CDs. What's your take on it? How is it significant in this industry?
I mean, the first thing I'll say about streaming is, artists get a fraction of a cent of what their music actually is worth. And I'll take South Africa for instance. It's very nice to have a whole lot of streams, but when you look at how much the streams make, you like, and the only thing I'll say, the difference between the two is streaming gives you like instant access to the artist's music, and you can listen to it anywhere and anytime. And I love to see that. And I think it's also helped in spreading your music even faster globally or internationally. Like, there's some people who proof, no, asimazi uthaba uhlala ugcoka ama-Air Force kanti uthaba unama-streams ase-Canada, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But we shouldn't sleep on traditional media, man. When I say traditional media, I mean like print CDs, bro. Like, you could still make a lot of money printing CDs. It's something tangible that someone can hold. You know what I'm saying? Don't let go of radio. Please. Like, South Africans still listen to a whole lot of radio.
Yeah.
I would like to believe South Africans would buy CDs if you wanted them to buy CDs and you marketed your album or whatever you're releasing.
When I go to a gig, I want to buy a CD.
You want something tangible, you know what I'm saying? People support you. But yeah, man, streaming, what I love about it is it's opened up the world. It's made someone who's in New York next door.
True.
Like, I could upload a song and
someone from the
by just it being on a playlist with click, someone could be listening to it in China. You know what I'm saying? So I love that it gives people direct access. Could it get better? Yes. How they remunerate artists, like how they pay artists. Can they pay artists way more? Because I think your song is way more than a fraction of a cent, because now, with CDs dying, there's nothing tangible that we can sell. But a lot of artists still push CDs. Maskandi artists make a lot of money still selling CDs. They on the ground, marketing their stuff, selling CDs. So yeah, I think that's the difference for me. One is very tangible and you can put sentimental value on it. And the other one allows like direct access and opens up the world for you. And someone from America or Congo or China or Europe could be listening to your music in real time. And it's also good to see like the numbers in real time for those of you who are numbers crazy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they both the same, man. Just use both. Use the online, but don't neglect the traditional media.
Yes, it works both ways.
It works both ways, especially in South Africa. Yeah.
In closing, Phila, if you had to encourage someone who wants to be in the industry, what would you say?
Hey man, be sure. Like, I think everyone has went through the stage where they either wanted to be a dancer or a musician.
Yeah.
But be sure about it and do it for the right reasons. Make sure more than anything, you love it even when you're starting out and there's no money coming in. You love it when there's 3 people at the gig versus 20,000 at a gig, and that you're doing it with the most purest intentions and you making music that people can live with. And then with more than anything, it's not easy, it's hard, especially when you're independent. It's hard. So find like-minded people who share the same vision as you, who believe this thing can become something. If you can, find your people, create a platform for yourself, but most importantly, educate yourself before you go into it, man. Like whether you study or don't study, there's books, read books, go online, meet people, ask for information, just educate yourself. So, we don't all have the, hey, he had hit songs, but he died poor stories. You know what I'm saying? So get your admin right, try it out independently first. I know independence is not for everyone. It's very difficult. It's very expensive. But try it out independently first. And then, so at least when someone comes to you and says, I can do this for you, you've tried doing that and you know whether they're trying to play you or not.
Yeah.
And then just be open-minded, but because in every industry, like any other, there's people who are always willing to exploit people. So do it for the right reasons. Don't do it for the flash and the glam. That's a bonus of you being good and exceptional at what you do. But do it for the right reason and do it from here. Tell your story.
That's a powerful one.
Don't forget where you come from. Rap from where start with your neighborhood. Rap from where you come from. Don't forget who you are. And more than anything, be honest and open and put yourself out there in your music. Those that it gravitates towards, it will gravitate towards. And those that it doesn't matter. I don't think anything was made to be loved by every single human being in this world.
Not everybody's
the same way as there's a lot of people who can tell you, hey, I love this guy's songs, but I also know there's a lot of people where maybe it's not their cup of tea.
Yes.
And that's okay. And be open to criticism and keep trying. You'll fall 1,000 times.
But
get up
eventually
1,000 times more.
Get there.
Yeah.
Where to from here, Ngopila?
Where to from here? Hey man, Phila started a new journey this year. Like I said, I transitioned to fully live. So now I perform in a live band. I'm trying to get myself into different spaces, but only up, man. Because when I look at the whole collective, when I look at everyone around me, everyone is pushing, everyone is putting their weight, everyone is helping each other where they can help. And we're at the stage now where we just got so tired of not being booked that we're like, you know what, we'll start our own events, we'll start our own community, and anyone is welcome who believes in the vision. And no matter what, we're gonna keep on going. It doesn't matter if other people don't see the vision, we can't see the vision for them.
Of course.
But from here now, we're going up. Whole lot of music coming out, whole lot of collaborations coming out. And yeah, I think the year's gonna end very well. And next year's gonna be even better, man. I tell myself every year, yeah, this year it's the year. And even if it's not next year, this year's the year.
Power of the tongue.
Power of the tongue, yeah. Because God's timing is the most perfect timing. And all we can do is just make sure we're prepared, stay prepared. So the music is there, the stage presence is there, performing live is there. We've done the craziest shows, we've performed in taverns, guys, we performed on big stages. We're prepared for any situation that can come our way. But where to from here? Only phezulu siyakhuphuka. Only up.
Phila,
Thank you so
I love
much.
to put my guest, my artist, put on the spot. You are a hip hop artist.
Yeah.
Look into the camera and just rap for us or something. The experience that you had, Nje, so that you draw them, Shout out to them and say, Nyabonga, this is what I've got.
So like what you asked me to, you want me to like rap a verse?
Go ahead.
Or what?
Go ahead, a verse, whatever that comes into your head.
These people.
I love that. Please.
Okay, I'm gonna hit them with, it's one of my favorite verses from a song. It's called Perfect Timing.
Yes,
so I'll start the chorus. I swear they never make them like me. Time again I told them I'ma get my shine beam. Run fast, I be ducking lightning. Good luck, only perfect timing. Better times, better days when I can feel it. I've been stuck in my ways, I mean my feelings. Hoping that I get my timepiece. Good luck, only perfect timing. And then it had this fire in me reignited how I'm blazing. Teaching my daughter the passion, it runs in our genes. Crazy she wants, she bopping her head to my beats. Got my ear in tune, I'm listening, what's in the streets. Got the receipts, they pay me homage, I haven't peaked. Late nights, up with the gov, double the skill. Shoot for the kill, told me no mercy, show them you ill. My will stronger, you jaded and obsolete. My journey begun. Peter Messiah, begotten son. I give love to this world. I hope they see I'm the one, the first and the last, like a finish line. I am the start at the end. Looping my songs in the whip. Swear to God, I don't pretend, but energy gotta protect. Speak when I'm spoken to, only speak when my credit is due. Nothing to lose, a lot to prove. A beast in the booth, bumping the waves, empty the trash. I click at the pool. K. I swear they never make them like me.
I'm listening to the message. I'm like, what?
So that's Perfect Time music out now everywhere. Philaboi K, PHILABOI_K everywhere.
Kanjalo nje.
Everywhere. You'll find the music, you'll find the digital platforms.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, Chami.
I really appreciate you. Go and be the best that you can be. You know what?
No, we have to.
The world is your oyster.
You too. Like, thank you for having me, and I wish you nothing but the best with what you're doing. And
let's keep pushing.
Everything you push for, pray for, makuvuleke.
Kanjalo nje.
Asibonge. Asibonge.
This is another edition of the Dawning Experience with Mjakes. I do hope you enjoyed, you learned something, because, you know, we need to go and study. I love when a young person says, go and study the music. Don't just get in and just, you know, we live flow ill. So thank you so much to PhilaboiK K for joining us today and giving us the 411 of it. I do hope on our socials and just interact with us. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, and also comment. We really, really appreciate you. You know, for the last time, let me just say, signed, sealed, delivered. Ke mina no ko Mosebo a dire, ke a go leboga.